Welcome to my first 5-minute video showing you how to paint bamboo. I'm going to be using a silver SAA flatmate brush first of all, and neutral tint SAA watercolour paint. This is a lovely colour. It's a really dark greeny colour. I'm making it nice and wet on my flat brush, and I'm just going to start by putting a section of the bamboo like this. Then lift the brush up like that. If you add a little bit of water to the top, it'll encourage it to run down and cause a bit of a dark line at the bottom. Then try again, just a little bit below it, start another section of the bamboo. And again, if it's not quite worked according to plan, just go over it a little bit more and help it to come down here. Now I'm going to do another section. Each time the same, just add a little bit of water to it to encourage it to run down. And again, a little bit of water. Look how it's running. Okay, now I'm going to do another stalk exactly the same way, but a little bit of a curve on it this time. Starting here, a little bit of water. Encourage it to run. Leave a line in the next section. A little bit of water added to the top to help it run, and leave that line there. And another one. A little bit of water. And the last section coming down like that. Okay, I'm now going to introduce you to the sword liner. This fantastic brush takes a little bit of practice, but it's well worth it. You can see it's almost like a calligraphy brush there. So I'm going to add some neutral tint to the brush here. Make sure it's nice and wet for this. And then branches that come off a bamboo always come at this section. So using the point of the brush, look how thin that is. Just make some lines coming up like this. Sometimes the multiple ones coming up, maybe a couple at the bottom, and then some the other side, like that. Okay, then clean the brush. I'm going to add just a little bit of neutral tints to lemon yellow. Again, this is an SAA watercolour. And this time I'm going to add the leaves. Now the leaves are beautiful, long, thin, this kind of shape, and look how, if I do that with the brush, if I put pressure on the brush, I get a thicker line. So thin at the top, and then it comes down almost like calligraphy. Can you see that? As I say, it takes a little bit of practice, but it's worth it. And then one on the end like that. We'll do the same here. After a while you get quite confident with it, and look how that lovely wet and wet is happening. A little bit more on the brush. It's important to make sure that the paint is wet for this, because if it's too thick it won't work as well. Add a little bit of the neutral tint in there, we get a little bit of a wet and wet, and varying the tones of the leaves. A little bit more on this one. And on the other side. Curling them around here, a little bit of dry brush on that bit, makes it look a little bit more loose. When I put these over the top, because the layer behind is dry now, I can go over the top with another layer of bamboo. And there we have it, bamboo in 5 minutes. Thanks for joining me. Please share me.